You see what I'm saying?
You see what like I am second.
Nah, not like that. Chit chat.
And we're talking and we're chatting and blah blah blah. Yeah. And just this time in North County has been awesome. I'll just say that. Riding around listening to Americana.
Yeah.
Got a chance to hear that. So that's super dope, man. Like,
Thank you.
I think the first part was just your raps.
Good raps, right?
Your
the
raps,
raps.
man,
The
your
main
songs,
thing
man.
is the main thing.
The songs are awesome. I know people are going to be like super excited. How are you thinking like the whole live show run is going to go? Are you going to do a tour? Are you going to do?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I'm doing select dates in cities that I have just an affinity for and a heart for, and New York, Dallas, Lynchburg, Charlotte, obviously Oceanside, Toronto, Boston. I'm taking the whole typical idea of what it means when an artist comes through town. The typical, I'm going to come through, do a show, be the headliner, bounce to the next city. Instead of just doing a bunch of shows like that, I'm picking select cities, going in and doing an open mic format. As much as it is about the music, it's also about curating other talent. So
an open mic attached to the actual...
Attached to the show, where I won't even be closing out the night. So it'll be someone local from the region closing out the nights. So it's going to be super dope. So we got a bunch of really great artists on board, specifically like for Charlotte, Lynchburg. My man Foggy Raw is doing those. Lynchburg, we got Klesso and RJ. The idea is just adding value to people from a cultivating and curating local communities of artists and creatives, empowering them. I feel like it's something that we do have here in Oceanside, and North County, San Marcos Vista.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you guys definitely have done that here.
Yeah, it's like an actual community of creatives. And the more I travel, the more I go, I don't really see that a lot of other places. And so the heart for this Americana rollout and doing these things is just a lot of this is just taking it, flipping it upside down in its head. You know what I mean? Taking the rock star thing and just like completely dissolving that, So doing things like calling people who pre-ordered the record from my personal phone number and telling them thank you. You know what I mean? Doing things like, hey, we're going to go in. I'm not going to be the guy to close out the show. I'm actually just here to add value.
So they actually like have your phone number?
They have my real phone number.
Like your Google Voice number? Like
no, my real cell phone number.
Man, that's extra.
Yeah.
All right. That's some trust.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
How's that experience been?
It's been, you know what? It's been really great because there's something about taking the power away from just social media and numbers and that, and actually talking to a human, and like like to a lot of these people, like I'm their favorite rapper, I'm their top 5 favorite MCs, and so they're getting a call. They're super excited because I'm calling. The flip side is I'm encouraged because I'm talking to real humans that aren't my friends, that aren't my family, that are like, yo, like this is dope. The music is amazing. I love Petty. I love Raw Sugar. I love the singles. When are you doing shows? Like they actually care. So it's been encouraging for me. And then for them, it's been, again, like just removing that artist, person, platform divide that we have so much in entertainment culture, which I think a lot of times as a believer can be counterintuitive. Like I'm supposed to serve. I'm supposed to serve. I'm supposed to add value. I'm supposed to care, right? Not just be served and just receive the praise and just receive the acclaim. Not to say there's anything wrong with critical acclaim and platform, anything, right? Because we're all aspiring to that. But just reversing that thing and just seeing, really it's just a big experiment. Like just seeing like, what if I don't headline my own shows? What if I remove the veil and just be very accessible and True Fan Love Tuesday, like reviewing people's music on Twitter. And then one day I was like, yo, if you want a phone call from me, tweet me your phone number. You know what I mean? Calling people up just to chat.
Extremely grassroots.
Yeah.
I guess I would even see that's something even just listening, just with the whole Americana idea and how this is all fleshed out, just artistically from performance to on wax to, on the internet, things I've heard obviously in the podcast and what you've been kind of talking. Like, what do you think that is as far as like Americana in all of that and what you're saying? Like you see community, grassroots, all of these things. Is that something that's a part of?
I think so.
Intentional?
Yeah, no, it definitely is intentional. And I think it's a couple things. One, it keeps me anchored and it keeps me normal, right? And again, like, you could get so caught up in the comparison game. You can get so caught up in numbers and how much of that is real. Where should I be in the spectrum of my career, right? Like so much of that is ego. And again, not to say that you should have a gauge and you should keep track of numbers, right? But for me, it's like doing the opposite of what's the expectation, because Americana is very personal and it is very me the past records, I would say, Do For One was a dope record and it was personal, but it was a concept record. I kind of hid behind a concept. Carry On was me, but me with less self-awareness, right? It was what had happened to me, not who I am. And this record is who I am. So it's like, if I'm going to really, really, really go deep and show every part of me, all my struggles, all my everything, and put it all out there, then I could be that personable with people. And what do I have to lose? Like, what's the con to me, right? The con is like some fan is going to have my number and call me at an awkward time when I'm trying to play with my son, and I'm not going to pick up. Right. Like that's the con, right?
There's not
like,
really much to lose.
There's not much to lose.
Yeah.
So just trying different things and seeing what works, and people see it seems to be working. People seem to be really personally connecting to it, and again, the record's all about personal story, personal accessibility. That will hopefully encourage, empower people to walk out their Americana, their contribution. You know,
there's a lot of cons in there. It's like, what is the con? Like their contribution, right? Or like even like the contrarianism of just like, hearing your story, Americana, it's kind of contrarian because, of your story of how you got here, right? With what society was already here, and even kind of, I guess I'm seeing with the tour, the community, you're talking hand in hand with people. That's pretty contrary to what is typically done,
right?
And so I'm just seeing that as a pattern, and I think that's just really dope, bro.
Appreciate that.
I've seen what these open mics do.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen them firsthand.
I mean, I was in one.
Right, you were at the last one,
blast.
And so the next one in Oceanside, is October 7th, which is going to be, obviously Dream Junkies. We got Joey Jewish, we got JB, who just did the tour with Prop and Murs. We got Foggy Raw, Curtis King, Lauren Michelle. Like the lineup is stacked, right? Like the lineup is stacked because there is an actual community regionally and outside of the region that people are like, yo, I just want to be down. How can I be down? You know what I mean? I'm like, well, I could probably pitch in on your flight, but I can't really pay, because people see the value in it, then you just get this super stacked lineup for a $10 show, which you really wouldn't see anywhere else, like that scale. And it's the guys, the Curtis Kings and myself, that are like, we're kind of the OGs now to the Foggy Raws. That's like the total new wave, new generation of what's happening, And I just love that convergence of just different things. You're gonna see some dudes in there that are locals that are doing gangster rap, and and then you're gonna see dudes that are Christians, and you're gonna see that convergence again. So it's just converging and colliding these different worlds, because the truth is we're all a part of this American dream that we're aspiring towards. Like we're all here, we're all the same. Really, we're really all the same. We all got the same struggles. We all got the same types of vices. So why be so divided, especially in an election year? You know what I mean? Like we're so divided. The country is going through so much turmoil.
Especially in an election year. I see you. All right. I see you.
Why not come together? Like why not be intentional about coming together and not come together to argue and disagree, but just come together and say like, what are we aligned on? Oh, we all like dope music. Oh, we all like fly things. Oh, we all like a positive message. Or we all love like everybody likes the idea of a community. Everybody likes the idea of going out and living out what they believe they've been called to do. Right? Everybody likes that. So like let's unify in that, and like let's not divide over the other things that we're not even going to care about in 6 months.
Wow. What if I just wanted to come to the show, right? I maybe I'm not an artist, What would you say is the one thing that you would want? How can people support, I guess, in the show? Like, what should they expect?
Well, yeah, I mean, first of all, they should buy a ticket. You know what I'm saying? Run, buy a ticket. They could even make a donation. All the shows have donation options. I think what I would want people to see is a bunch of people up there that are passionate about what they're doing, and what we're all doing happens to be musical or spoken word or whatever in that format. And I would hope that people would see us passionate, and they would walk away and say, man, what's that thing for me, and how can I be more passionate? Like I feel like passion drives more passion. That would be the biggest takeaway. And then obviously like we're doing a mini conference for creative entrepreneurs with an artist panel kind of like this, going deeper on helping creatives build out their platforms, go from part-time to full-time to actually having businesses.
Is that something like at the show?
It's pre-show. It's pre-show. It's not for everybody. It's not just for everybody walking in who's just like, yo, it's like for the creative entrepreneur, the guy that has a vision and just needs some tools, some people, some resources, some Q&A. how do I go from, man, I think I'm kind of good at rapping. I think I could kind of do this thing. How do I go from here to, okay, cool, I'm making $5,000 a year off of this. I'm making 10 grand. Okay,
Right.
bam, I'm full time. I'm paying all my bills off of music or off of design or off of whatever that creative thing is. And how can we come alongside those people and say, hey, let's share our stories, give you some tools and some things that we've experienced to build around this thing. So those are happening pre open mic, and that's more of like a premium mini conference thing that I think is people are going to find really valuable.
Mini conference, like a weekend?
No, just
trolling.
No, mini conference just like a few hours before. So instead of doing like the VIP, come hang out with the artist and take pictures, hey, come actually hear the artist, give you some practical steps on how you could take your things to the next level and take pictures and hang out and chill.
Dope.
You know what I mean? Because that's
like the focus or like the
like a really focused, engaging experience where you will walk away with something, not just knowing more about me or knowing more about, Belief or the artist, but like, oh snap, this is how they did it, right? Because I think we're done with the era of secrecy and like, oh, there's, we're gonna be on the low about our method. Like, no, this is how we did it. Like here's everything, and we give that all the way anyway through the podcast.
We seem to be creating some sort of economy system, and we might have to work together to make sure our economic system that works. So I'll show you how to do this.
Commerce, like the commerce side of it, right? Like the art and the commerce can conflict sometimes, but they don't have to. They don't have to.
Good.
And I want people to know that like it's okay to desire to make a living off of your passion if you're willing to put in the work and you're talented at your passion. That's an okay desire.